generation of this microwave generation, what do you think? Because when I was growing up, and I'm not ashamed to say that I'm, what's the term old school, but they gave me a book, I read it. I don't look at the number of pages of the book. I look at the title, and they've told me that the book is interesting. But nowadays, you give anyone a video clip to watch. The first thing they'll do is tap on it, and then see the duration, and then automatically determine whether, do I have the time to listen to this 2 minute, 3 minute clip?
Actually, what I've actually noticed is that people actually prompt now to say, I don't know if you've noticed that, they'll say this is a 3 minute read, this is a 20 minutes listen. So they're already preparing your mind before you've even looked. And I think that's actually helpful. Even though I appreciate that we live in a microwave age, but we didn't have social media when we were growing up. So we didn't have that many distractions. So in essence, we had less choices to make. I think why we live in a microwave age right now is because there are too many choices. Even when you go to the supermarket, you say, okay, you're going there to buy, let me just give an example, apples. You know how many variety type apples there are. So even myself, when people ask me, buy me something, I'm sorry, you have to give me more detail. Better still, give me with a picture. So I don't buy the wrong thing. Because there's too many choices. So people are competing with what is valuable for their time. If you give me something to read, now with the knowledge we have, I'm going to check it. Sorry. I'm going to see, number one, if the print is not big, I'm not even bothering. I'm not going to be struggling with my eyes when I can get reading in so many prints. When we were younger, you didn't have that kind of choice. Now you can have braille, you can have listen and hearing, audio. Remember when we used to have those things that you can read? I don't want to mention the name, but it's a brand that everyone had.
Yes.
That was a revolution from book to.
Of course.
Starts with a K.
Yes.
And it was a revolution to have that, because that then you could size it up in different fonts. Now we have audiobooks. I'm a big fan of audiobooks. It's not because I don't like reading, but it's less stress on my eyes.
So this period, you're enjoying it?
Definitely. I think what is important is to be intentional about how you spend your time, which is what I don't think this microwavable age is allowing some of the youngsters to do. They're not mature enough to know that you have to spend your time in a particular way. So they have to be taught how to make those.
How do you teach?
It's part of what we as parents need to examine ourselves now, because what parents are doing, as soon as the child is old enough to have a gadget, they use it like as a babysitter, rather than teaching those children from young how to spend just so much time. I don't know if you did it, but when my child was growing up, or my children I should say, we collected their gadgets. We gave them time that they could be on the gadget. I don't care what they're doing on it, 15 minutes, that's it. By 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, after they've had their dinner, everybody, we used to switch off the internet from the wall.
Is that doable now though?
These are some of the things I think parents need to. The parents are not disciplined, so how can they? Because they didn't get taught how to switch off. I had a story of a little. I heard it was actually the mother that was telling me the story, that it's scary that she went into a shop with her toddler, and the toddler was looking at a picture and was swiping, expecting the picture to move.
Wow.
And was swiping on it and was frustrated that the picture wasn't moving. And she had to try and explain that it's not meant to move. because the child is used to moving images through, maybe they give them playthings and iPads and all these things. I remember that my son didn't get a phone till he was 13 years old. Now, I don't know what the age is for giving them a gadget. So it's about education. The children now have to be educated about how to manage all the choices that they have. I'm struggling as an adult to manage the choices that I have.
I'm just thinking of the challenge, because we're talking about those that are getting married now. I mean, our children are getting married now, and they were brought up with gadgets. How will they bring up their children?
Parenting classes have to be brought back. I mean, parenting was not something we were taught. We caught it from our parents. We were not taught. But I believe that now we need to think about teaching our children, the adult ones, having conversations with them about, have you thought about how you're going to bring your children up? They say, what do you mean? I'm sure. Have you tried? Do you try it? Especially when they're going to get to marriageable age. There's a course that one of my friends run for relationship awareness program, it's called, for the young people. They kind of call it RAP for short, to kind of capture their attention. And the course is about how to do relationship, how to manage relationship. I think a similar one needs to do is how to grow your children in a age of technology or something.
When I hear the word course, do I twitch? Because course in parenting.
Well, maybe we won't call it a course, but I'm just saying that's what maybe just say something like tips. Tips on tips on parenting. Tips on parenting,
Because in this day and age, when you hear courses like I'm going back to school, and why do I need to go back to school to learn how to bring up my child?
Exactly. Tips on parenting. I remember when I was younger, I was actually petrified of how I was going to bring up my child when I have a child. Because if you don't have any principles or you don't have any guidance around these things, how do you do it?
But do the newlywed, do they actually think about whether they're petrified or they just believe that, well, let me have a child is what I'm expected to do?
I got too many hoes, but I ain't you. You like to put that shit in your nose.